Welcome to the Outsourcing Edge from Remote Recruitment. I'm Emily van Eyssen, and as I always say, let's ditch the drama and hire smarter. Today, Jenny Mitchell from Topstay Hosts joins me. She scaled her property business with remote brilliance. Stick around later, and I'll share how to grab our free remote hiring playbook to scale just like Jenny. Jenny, hello and welcome. How are you?
Hi, Emily. How are you? I'm
Oh,
very
wonderful to
well.
see you. Good, 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 good. See, we've been on quite a journey together. We've known each other for, gosh, nearly 3 years now.
Has it been that
Uh,
long?
yeah, and we still look gorgeous. We still look gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Still look gorgeous. So you've obviously gone through a few incarnations and grown and dramatically from when we first met. Well, actually met Sam, wasn't it? Your husband about 3 years ago. Where were you before we started working together? Tell me a little bit about Topstay Hosts and who you are.
So we basically was just running an SA company. So we were just plodding along like the rest, but I found I was doing everything myself. So from the minute I woke up to the minute you go to bed, obviously as a business, you're working on it all the time because it's your business. So, and that's where I was. So I was going out in the car on my phone, taking my laptop. Everywhere you went, you had to just take something with you because you couldn't leave the business or put anything down because it was all down to you. That's exactly where I was.
And that's no fun because I bet you didn't have enough time for friends, family, and you were working from the moment you opened your eyes to the moment you closed them.
Well, basically, yeah. So friends, what friends, family, poor children, they literally was dragged up, like you do. It's just like you just try and take a snippet of the weekend, stuff like that. So that's how it really was. It was hard. It was hard work.
And before you started working with people from South Africa, you started outsourcing, but to the Philippines. How was that? How did that work for you?
Start off, it's great because obviously if you're working in your business with the Philippines, they're brilliant at what they do, but they needed too much babysitting, and I had to hold their hand a lot. And then they had to delegate the jobs in the morning for them to do for the day, and it was hard work. It is hard work. They are great people. Don't get me wrong, and their work ethic is amazing, and and
And cheap.
yeah, and that's exactly what it is. They're cheap, so you pay
How
for
did
what
you
you get.
the time difference with the Philippines?
Obviously massive difference because obviously the time difference is they're working at night and it was day here. So they were working totally different and they wasn't in tune. And you tend to find the Philippines are working for more than one person, which
Right.
they don't, you think, oh, they're just doing it for you but they're not, they're working for another two, three people. So it's not dedicated completely to you.
How did you find out that they were working for different people? Did they make that aware to you, or did they?
No,
No.
I bumped into somebody that was actually had the same VA's name as. So then I asked her, "Where was yours from?" And she went so and so, and I went, "What's yours name?" And she went so and so, and I went, "Oh, we have the same VA."
Awkward, awkward. And how did that develop? Did you share them? Did you confront the VA? How did that work?
Yeah, I did. We fronted the VA company that we obviously got our VA from, and they basically said that, oh, she won't be working for anyone else again. But it was clearly, she was dropping the ball a lot. And when it starts costing you money and things are getting missed, that's when you know
Yeah,
that things need to change.
the warning signs are there, isn't there? Because
Absolutely.
you can assess the output for what the expectations against reality. But that was incredibly naughty of the company to put one person forward twice. And there's enough people out there not to do that. So presumably, without mentioning any names, it's not a company you would recommend again.
To be honest with you, I do recommend them, but the only thing is they are known and made quite clear of that you're not going to be the only person that they'll be working for because you can't cancel people out. They've been great to me. You know, we've had them for a few years. The only thing I found with them is I never grew as a business. We still was in the same situation where that to me was massive. So as a business, just having the VAs, we wasn't getting any further up or moving any further forward. We were just still on that level. We were getting by. Yeah, that's basically the wording is we were just existing and getting by and stuff like that. We wasn't growing, and that was
Right. And what sort of roles were they doing? What sort of jobs were they doing for you in the Philippines?
well, they were doing the shit jobs that I didn't want to do. Basically. So they were doing a lot of things like, you know, the bookings and stuff like that. So they were doing a lot of guest communication, obviously through text message, emails. They were doing all the emails, the OTAs, channel managers. They were doing all the really the nitty gritty jobs that I didn't really want to do.
Yeah, cool. Why not? That's not we're all going into business to enjoy the lifestyle of a business, not work for another business. If we wanted to do that, we'd go and get jobs.
Exactly.
They gave us holiday and evenings. Yeah, it makes sense. So fast forward, we obviously then had a conversation about bringing in an ops manager for you. What appealed to you initially about coming to South Africa?
Reason being is we'd had a chat a couple of times about it before, and it was just trying to change your mindset because you're so stuck in your thing of, and you become a bit of a control freak when you've got a business as well. And my problem is I was a control freak because I wanted to know everything, but you can't know everything. And I was spending too much time in my business where I need to work on my business, and that's why it wasn't growing. So you kept giving me pointers now and then. So I wish I'd listened at the beginning, but being a stubborn cow I am, I just thought, oh, I'll get by, it'll be fine. So that's exactly how it was.
And you're the time zones must help you a lot as well as what's the big difference between the caliber of of staff from South Africa to the Philippines? What are the big differences you've noticed?
The time zone's massive because then, and I've noticed as well, she's up earlier than me because of the time zone. So she's already done stuff while I've got up and got out of bed. She's already done stuff. And it just makes life so much easier. It's just life easier.
And what about the caliber of person? Not trying to throw the Philippines under the bus. There's some fabulous people there. What's the difference between Tracy and the Filipinos you've had in the past?
Um, to be honest with you, where do I start? Um, she thinks outside the box. You know, everything that I am, she wants the property to grow, the business to grow. She wants everything to, and she thinks outside the box, which to me is massive. Where the Filipinos, like I said to you before, you have to give them a structure and a list of things to do every day. Where with Tracy, she'll think outside the box. She'll tell me things that she probably can see that I can't see and stuff like that. She's great in social media, you know, and she'll help me with that. I just can't, and I've got some time back, which is massive. So
Time is everything. You can never get that back.
no.
So in terms of lifestyle, because building a team, I think a lot of people are always very nervous about building a team because they see it as a responsibility that's going to take up their time. And you've actually found the opposite built with bringing in Tracy, that it's brought you back time. So how's that actually look like? How many hours do you think you get back a week, a month, a day?
How it actually, where do I start really? So Sam pushed me into this, obviously, as you know, because as a business we could afford it, but I was just being a tight cow. So that's just what it was. And then once, like with Tracy on board, she picked things up really quickly, and I didn't feel like I had to do a meeting with her every morning. So with the Philippines, I had to be on a meeting with them every morning and have a structure. Tracy sort of stepped into the position where I actually have got my life back, and I feel more positive about growing as a business because we can we're networking more, we're working on our business, and spreading the word about what we do, where before it was like, oh my God, where's my phone? I've left the house for an hour and there could be some dramas or something. So
So you're more
massive.
relaxed as well.
Yeah, it's massive. It's been a massive lifestyle, an eye opener more than anything, because everybody sort of want to work like they just keep how can I explain it? I just don't have to worry so much. I'll get in the car and I know I can leave the house and not check my phone and drive myself mad, because I know if there's a drama, Tracy can sort it. She thinks outside the box, which is a big difference.
You've got the support in the business to now do what you want to do, which is move the business along and actually see your 4 kids and your husband. Maybe less so your husband, but definitely your kids.
Well, yeah, it's just having just more of a life, isn't it? Because you just get so wrapped up in it. So, and now I'm having my time back. I'm actually enjoying doing what I'm doing, where before it was some things were a chore. It's like, oh my God. So I just hand that stuff and delegate it to Tracy. I've just got rid of my last Filipino VA. So Tracy's running the show now.
Amazing.
So we have like a morning meeting every morning in case she needs me to do stuff, and then I can go off out, and then knowing that she's, she's keeping on top of things, and it's pretty good. I'm pleased. I'm quite excited, because now I feel like our business is going to grow. Well, it actually is growing, because now she's been on board for a few months. She's bringing up some ideas. So now we're doing Facebook posts and we're doing paid ads, and we're just doing stuff that before it's a bit scary for me, because I didn't know who was going to pick the phone up as well. Because when the Filipinos pick the phone up, people think, is this a scam?
Unfortunately, and that is an awful thing to say, but it is 100% true. And a South African accent is an acceptable accent that people feel safe. Where if you hear a voice from the Philippines or India, unfortunately, we often make an assumption, which is false, but it is an assumption that can be made. And that's a really valid point. And something else you mentioned is that morning meeting. I think a lot of people, when they're outsourcing, they don't do that morning meeting, and that can be a real roadblock to success. Can you tell me a little bit about your structure of your morning meeting? What have you found works for you? How long is it? What points do you cover?
Before, with the meetings with the VAs, I know I keep going on about this, but I can only go by that is the systems that I had in place. So it was more of an hour meeting and it was really draining. But now I look forward to the meetings in the morning, because I'm getting feedback where before I didn't. So it's pretty good. And then we're sort of brainstorming ideas on how to move forward on certain things. And like I said to you, I've just got off a meeting with her this morning. I think I could have been on there for 20 minutes, but then once you start talking, thinking of new ideas, what am I going to do next week? Because I'm going on holiday for the first time with Tracy running the show.
Wow, how exciting is that?
And I'm not nervous at all, where before it was like, oh my God. But it's like I said to Tracy, I said, what we'll do is we'll just do some WhatsApps and just go back and forth. She can tell me what she needs me to do. I'm really excited about it now, because I've said to her as well, as if you struggle with things, I can get another ops manager or someone that can work a couple of hours a morning if she's struggling. But it's just the morning meetings. I do it. I think we're doing it now 2 or 3 mornings a week for half an hour. But I love it, because I'm working on my business and brainstorming, and it's exciting.
You know what's going on as well. You know what
Exactly.
it's to know what's going on in your business. And that morning meeting, I think, is crucial for the communication both sides. So everybody knows what's the expectations are both sides. And I see this as one of the biggest pitfalls of it not working, is people who don't do those mornings meetings often enough. Even if it's just 10 minutes, check in. Everybody's well, what happened yesterday, what's going to happen today, and some
Yeah.
goal setting. Vital. Really vital. But your holiday, this sounds so exciting. I've just come back from a week away, and very similar thing. I did my morning. We have morning meetings every day. I dropped in twice, and then just communicated with my general manager twice. Maybe I checked my WhatsApps twice a day, and had a lovely time. And I'm so excited you're at that point, Jenny. It's really exciting. So what's next for Topstay Hosts? What's the next stage of world domination?
Right, so I'm going 100 mile an hour with like management. So I want to manage more properties. We manage properties, but I want to manage more properties. I think I don't want too many because I think as a company, and it's like I've had a word with like as a company, we want to keep it more personal. So where a lot of management companies, they're like, yeah, we've got 100 management units. It's great, but I like to have a bit hands-on. So I actually want to make it, I'd rather quality over quantity. So we like to do that more personal thing, and check in with you and if you're happy. So the management side of things, we just want to just build that up really, but we just, as we go, we just want to make it more, more of a personal basis instead of just a robot, an eyebot.
Fantastic. So you you want to be focusing on growing the business, increasing the quality, but not actually doing the day-to-day work and outsourcing that to Tracy and perhaps somebody else. Is that the short-term to medium goal?
Exactly. And as it grows, it will be taking another ops manager on. And then as two of them, they can just brainstorm off of each other. And then I can have weekly meetings or, stuff like that.
And have more holidays and see your children and occasionally Sam.
Absolutely.
This,
Absolutely.
this is such an exciting time for your business, Jenny, and it sounds like the outsourcing journey has really, really worked for you. What advice would you give to companies or people listening to this that are currently nervous about taking that leap of faith?
It will, it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? If you don't take the leap, you're never going to take the leap. Like with me, is I was never going to take that leap, and you won't grow if you don't take that leap. So and my ops managers changed my life. So, and people probably go, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, it has, because it's given me time back. So, you know, just take a chance, isn't it? And see what it does for you. I personally,
100%. And I think with us, I said, Jenny, you were fighting me. And I said, just please come along to the first round of interviews, which is only an hour, meet 5 people that will be brilliant. If you don't like at the end of that, don't stress. And you were hooked. Would you say that was fair?
yeah, but that's exactly what you did do, because I think realistically, which was good for you there, is because you knew that I needed to make this change, and you could see how stubborn I was, and I think that's exactly what it is. And you never gave up. And I was like, no, I'm not really sure on her. No, no. And in the end, you went to her and I went, look, this is the one for you. And then we had two left, and I chose one and Sam chose the other. We went with Sam's one, which was Tracy, which is bizarre. And it was, I think it was good because you sort of held my hand on the journey, which made it more relaxing for me to let go, if you know what I mean. So you didn't just say, there's that, there's that. For me, it was like the personal touch of holding my hand on the journey of doing the thing that I was dreading to do. That's exactly what it was.
It is a scary thing for all of us to take that next stage. And I think you've hit the nail on the head, Jenny, to have somebody next to you that you feel safe with, that knows what they're doing, makes that leap of faith much easier. And I think that's what we really try and do at Remote Recruitment, to help people to get to that next level, because it is scary. It is scary, and we all need it. I've got business coaches and people helping me to get to the next level, and sometimes you just need a hand. Jenny, I really enjoyed talking to you today. It's been really insightful. That's it for the Outsourcing Edge today. Huge thanks to Jenny Mitchell for ending those hiring headaches. I'm Emily van Eyssen. See you next time. Thank you so much, Jenny.
Cheers.